Mishmin Tuhis, Countercut Canyon, Coyote Woman, Stairs Roots. Today, I'm a very nomadic native. I am currently in Awaswa, Ohlone territories, and I'm recording from my heart. I wish I were given the opportunity to be in person. However, these are digital times, and I'm a millennial. I'm a digital native. I come from Indian Canyon, the only federally recognized Indian country between Sonoma and Santa Barbara along central coastal California. And this little coyote right here is right in Ohlone territory on my way in to Indian Canyon. It's my neighbor's property. And I identify as Two-Spirit, and I am daughter of Anne Marie Sayers, daughter of Elena Sayers, and I recognize my privilege being raised on the land of my ancestors, where my ancestors' ancestors' ancestors have always been. I want to take this moment to acknowledge that when you think about it, when we're given an opportunity to honor our elders and our ancestors' ancestors, we all have indigenous lineages in the land of our ancestors. All of our ancestors have had earth-based spiritual practices, of which our ancestors have aligned themselves with seasons, and majority of our communities have recognized that the first people are actually the plants and the animals. Everything else that has come before us. Humanity was given the obligation and the responsibility, a sacred responsibility, to be good ancestors in training and be good community members, recognizing the rights of nature and being in community with all sacred living systems and recognizing our impact. Part of being a responsible community member is by acknowledging how we got to where we are, taking a moment of recognizing that we should be recognizing Indigenous protocol by acknowledging the first Indigenous peoples who have stewarded this land since time immemorial, by acknowledging the histories, both of the environment and ecological impact, and how settler colonialism has impacted Indigenous nations, not only just here, but around the world, and the beautiful occurrences that can happen from honoring that truth in history. Sometimes it plays out in having difficult conversations and checking our entitlement and fragility, and sometimes it comes to opening doors for beautiful opportunities and collaborations and humility and healing that intergenerational trauma, healing that lateral violence and that lateral trauma, healing the historical trauma and the ongoing trauma. Coming together in community is healing. Laughter is sacred. Water is life. May we honor the past to shape the future. For this little coyote, I want to offer a little coyote song. This is the Mutsun language, the language of my ancestors. And the gentleman who got his PhD in my ancestral language created the Vulcan, and not created, developed. It was already created. He was hired and developed the Vulcan and Klingon language. An amazing linguist. However, you learn from indigenous languages to recognize where that origin and that energy came from, how the indigenous languages brought that foundation of understanding of that information. So, to offer a little coyote song, revitalizing language. As a Native person, the last fluent speaker of my ancestral language passed away in the 30s. Our community members are speaking our language, however, not as fluent first language first speakers. A little painful. And I want to point out that when people ask about indigeneity, do we know about truth in history? Did you know that the first time the Native American had the right to practice religion freely was 1978? 10 years older than me. So if you're 10 years older than me, you were born before the Indian Freedom Religion Act. Just had to bring that up. So yeah, we as humans have the right to pray. We have the right to be in community and ceremony. My mother and her mother taught her, when song, ceremony, and dancing stops, so does the earth. I too believe that. So I find it very important that we honor our ancestors, honor our heritage, even if you've got 2 left feet, even if you're you don't have a singing voice, even if you don't think you can, know you can, never tried. The same way that when we're in unison, from as simple as you have a whole room doing that, You feel that frequency, you feel that vibration, you feel that energy. Dancing. Some of y'all have been in spiral dance. Some of the community just feel a rhythm and a beat. Sometimes we have happy dance. It's dim. I just want to point that out. Don't stop dancing. Don't stop singing. And may we all have the right to pray and be in ceremony. Don't ever allow someone to say you can't. There are appropriate ways to navigate that. There are respectful ways to navigate that. And that's social rules and conduct and protocols of which we should be considerate and accountable and recognize our impact and our ripple effect. So there are ways that we can stumble in that journey. So I'm not going to say just don't feel entitled to do everything, anytime, anyway. However, we can be aligned, recognize the God in me sees the God in you. So this is a little coyote song in the Mutsu language. I'm going to use my regalia as indigenous peoples. You know, we don't wear costumes. This is medicine. Gives good medicine, charges with good medicine, made from good medicine. Time, patience, positive energy, and prayers went into this medicine. So it's not just jewelry. So I'm going to offer a little coyote song. Kanwa se wakshishe. Kanwa se wakshishe. Wakan is one. Harakan was one. Wakan is one. Harakan was one. Sawe, 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 sawe. Kan was my head, se wakshishe. Kan was my head, se wakshishe. Wakan is one. Harakan was one. Wakan is one. Harakan was one. Sawe, 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 sawe. Oh, 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 oh. No son in breath, so it is in spirit. In the Mutsun language, no son is a word that my mother and her mother have always used. And a little prayer that I have on my SoundCloud and in my coloring book and in one of my mini zines that I'm a bad capitalist. I provide a lot of things for free. So my mini zines are available on my website for free. And one of the mini zines, I have a prayer. And some of you may recognize this. And so I invite you, if you can, print off the mini zine, share it with your community. It's the one thing I say, yeah, go to this Native community source, take it, and spread it everywhere. You can totally appropriate it. Take it and run with it. Propagate the world with the indigenous propaganda. Oh, sorry, I had to drop a little laugh in there, but some of you may recognize this prayer, and in my language, it's Pide Kanama, Si Kampatian, Eto Konoso, Soto Konoso. Translates to earth my body, water my blood, air my breath, and fire my spirit. And that is in the Mutsun language. That is one of 8 languages of the Bay, one of 3 languages that are highly documented in the Bay. And I just wanted to share that from my heart to yours, from my community to yours. And may we honor and acknowledge Earth Day and coming together in community. May we act accountably, humbly, responsibly, rationally, and reciprocally. It's really important that we honor all the life that's lived and the gifts that are given, from upcycling to recycling, to being accountable, to checking our entitlement and fragility, to ensuring that the voices in the community are witnessed and validated and shared. And may we honor truth in history. It is important that we honor the past to shape the future.